In this video, I want to share 3 key questions that I ask in every one-to-one or group lesson with intermediate players. These questions help me figure out exactly where someone is at, and more importantly, where I recommend they should go next to level up their playing. This video is in support of the new Andy Guitar Intermediate Acoustic Guitar course. The link's at the top of the description, but let's make a start with the first question, which is, what do you feel confident with on guitar, and what still feels frustrating? This helps me identify where someone is confident with, perhaps they're confident playing chords or strumming, and where the opportunities are. Any frustrations are actually the biggest opportunities to make progress, especially in the first session. And these topics might be bar chords, they might be finger style, or fretboard knowledge, for example. And one question I might ask just to get someone playing something if they weren't able to come up with something on the spot, I might say, okay, play me a C sharp minor chord. Why that particular chord? Well, there's no way you can play that as a particular open chord unless you would go for something like this variation from a song like Best of You, which would technically be correct, but most people will go for this way, or they'll go for this way. And how quickly they get to that chord tells me what level they're at. If they do it without thinking and it's straight away there, for example, then, you know, that person's pretty advanced. If it takes quite a while to find where to put their fingers and they're thinking, hang on, C sharp. There might be intermediate, but it might be a bit lower intermediate, and that's okay. I might also ask them to play the minor pentatonic scale and just see how their finger coordination is kind of stacking up. But they're just some examples of, you know, get people to say what they're confident with, what aren't you confident with, and it is the biggest frustrations that people have with their playing that are actually the biggest opportunities for progress, and I could actually give people, most times, the biggest change in their playing and moving forward the fastest. The second question I would ask is, are you just learning songs, or are you coming up with your own ideas, riffs, improvising solos, that sort of thing? Are you creating anything musically, or are you just recreating songs? This is also a huge turning point in that intermediate level that often is the point where some people stick at a certain level and perhaps even stop playing guitar, that intermediate plateau, and other people just kick on seemingly effortlessly because they found that knack of coming up with their own ideas. But it's very much based on stuff that they've learned. It's based on songs that they know, riffs that they've learnt. It's based on predetermined stuff. They're just tweaking the ingredients slightly to come up with something new. So for example, I might say, okay, that C sharp minor we played before, can you turn that into a little jam or a vamp or a little riff idea? And then can you play over that idea? And if someone can't at all, they're like, just no. It's like, okay, you might still be at intermediate level, but that's a huge area that we can work on, that confidence of coming up with things and not, for example, just going through, you know, Best of You or banging away at some song that uses these chords, you know, same 4 chords in every song, right? We might go, okay, here's how we can come up with a little riff. So let me come up with a little riff, something that's, you know, not massively original, but something that would be doable by anyone learning. So that's literally staying on a C sharp minor chord. I might vary that. Something that's really bang intermediate level. And if you set something like that up, I'd go, okay, if that's something the student can do, how would you play over that? What scale you're looking at? What key are we in? And, you know, they'd probably go C sharp minor pentatonic, but shape 1 might be somewhere they'd start, which is actually brilliant, because if you can actually start making music with this, if the student could play something like that, although I would say it's certainly not high intermediate level, that is a great starting point, and all we'd have to look at is fretboard knowledge. If they were playing the minor pentatonic shape 1 or even more shapes, but it was sounding very much, or a big point here is a lot of people starting to improvise from here. You know, they're starting their lead lines from that thickest string. it's sounding a lot more like that than my first example, then I'm like, okay, you've just started with this and we can look at that more. But the important point there is no matter what they do, it's telling me things. And what am I looking for? I'm looking at what they're comfortable with, and also what are the big frustrations that are the biggest points as an opportunity to move them forward. You can look for that same thing in your playing. You might just need a little bit of guidance. And my third and final question is often that missing part of the puzzle. And it would simply be, what are your biggest goals on guitar? Whether it's writing songs, playing live, improvising, or mastering theory and the fretboard, this helps tailor a learning path that is relevant, motivating, and instantly rewarding for the student. But what do most people do? They put no constraints over what they're learning and have no particular goal. And this comes back to, if you don't know where you're going, you're not going to get very far. Even worse, without good reason, why move your playing forward at all? We need self-imposed targets if you're going to make a lot of progress in a short amount of time. This keeps everything relevant to the goal, plus it becomes easy to see the next steps that are going to act as the stepping stones to get you towards that big goal. This is why my new intermediate course is specific to acoustic guitar, because they're very different goals, especially an intermediate to advanced level, than they are for electric guitarists. There's a lot more fingerstyle, there's a lot more percussive elements, perhaps more strumming than there would be on electric guitar. We've got that specific goal in mind. So if any of this resonates with you and you're feeling stuck or unsure of what to focus on next, then my intermediate course might be just what you need. It's only available as part of the Andy Guitar membership on my website, andyguitar.co.uk, but alongside just this course and the other courses that we have available, I do weekly live streams every Monday at 6 p.m. UK time. We have bonus live streams as well often, where you can ask me anything and get that direct one-to-one feedback you need. We also have a community Discord just for premium members. There's over 500 people now active in this community, all supporting each other, all doing themed open mic Sundays, we call it, where people film themselves and share it just to the other members. And it's a very supportive, active community. And that peer-to-peer support where you can ask for help, and other members who've been there, they've been in your shoes, give you their perspective on the answers. And then I, of course, am active in the comments as well and give my help, and then use what people are asking in Discord to actually inform my live lessons and even videos such as this. This is my way of offering that support network that is beyond just following a course, beyond just one-to-one lessons. It's actually a thriving community where other people chime in with some great answers even before I've had the opportunity to. I'll leave the link at the top of the description to check all this out. It's all available at andyguitar.co.uk, and that is that extra level we can go to that we do not have the opportunity to do just on YouTube alone. It's not a complete learning platform. It is YouTube. After all, it's a bit of everything. So I hope you check it out over there. I hope this video really helps you, and I hope you will make a lot of progress at intermediate level guitar and beyond.